This is Chapter 4, Lesson 1, Powers and Exponents. What you're going to learn today is how to write using expressions using exponents and evaluate containing exponents. An exponent is a number that indicates how many times a number or expression is to be multiplied by itself. An example is 5 to the third, the exponent is 3. A power is an expression of the form x sum n, read x to the nth power. For example, 7 to the fourth is 7 raised to the fourth power, which is 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. A base is the number that is multiplied in the power problem. So in the example 3 squared, the base is 3, the exponent is 2, which would be 3 times 3, which is 9. You're going to be using order of operations today. Step 1, simplify using grouping symbols. Step 2, evaluate all powers. Step 3, multiply or divide left to right. And step 4, add or subtract left to right. We call that GEMDAS. The G stands for grouping symbols, the E for exponents, the M and D means multiply and divide left to right. The A and S means add and subtract left to right.
This is Mrs. Workman. Write each expression using exponents. In the first example, D times D times D, we notice that D is the base and it's used as a factor 3 times. So we can write that with an exponent as D to the third power, also read D cubed. In the second example, notice that we have m minus 7 as a factor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's being multiplied by itself 5 times. So we write the factor m minus 7 within parentheses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That base is used as a factor 5 times, so we'll rewrite it with the exponent 5. And this is read the quantity m minus 7 to the 5th power. And finally, the last example, we notice we have 9 as a factor. The base of x is used as a factor 3 times. And here's the base y used as a factor 4 times. So we can rewrite that as 9 times x, 1, 2, 3 times it's used as a factor, times y, 1, 2, 3, 4 times it's used as a factor. So this expression can be written with exponents. Looks like this and is read 9x to the third power y to the fourth, or 9x cubed y to the fourth power.
Write the expression using exponents. Negative 8 times negative 8 times negative 8 would be negative 8 as a factor 3 times, which would be negative 8 to the third power, or negative 8 cubed. We have k plus 2. We have it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So you would take k plus 2 as your base, to the factor of 4. So parentheses k plus 2, parentheses 4. Our final one, 5 times r times s times s times s. We have 5 times r squared times s to the 4th power. You would write it as 5 r squared s to the 4th. Pause the video and try these on your own. This one is written incorrectly. I'm going to fix it here in a second. It should have been 4 smaller up.
Hi, this is Mr. Rutherford. In this problem, we will learn to evaluate a numeric expression. Camping. Evaluate each expression to find the area of different campsites. A tent campsite has an area of 3 to the 5th power square feet. We can rewrite 3 to the 5th power as a product of 5 3's. And if we find the product of 5 3's, it is equal to 243. So we can say that this campsite has an area of 243 square feet. A camper campsite has an area of 6 times 4 to the 3rd square feet. So in this case, we can rewrite 6 times 4 to the 3rd as 6 times the product of 3 4's rather. So if we find the product of 6 times 4 times 4 times 4, this is equal to 384. And so the camper campsite will be 384 square feet.
The playing area for beach volleyball includes a playing court and the free zone. Evaluate each expression and find the area of the playing court and the free zone. Our playing court is 2 to the 7th power, which would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 128. Let's show you how to do that on a calculator.
Located here. Hey there, and welcome to HB Calcs. I'm Rick, and today we're going to have a look at how to do exponents on the Texas Instruments TI-30X2S calculator. To do this, we'll be using the following keys: the X squared key, located here, the up arrow key or the caret key, located here, and the negative key, located here, in case we want to do a negative exponent. All right, we'll start off with the basics. If we want to square a number, let's say 5 squared, we would enter the number, and then the X squared key. We see 5 squared on the top line there, and then hit the enter equals sign, and we get 25, which we know is the correct answer. If we want to cube a number, we need to use the up arrow or caret key. If we want 5 cubed, we would enter 5 up arrow 3 equals 125, which is the correct answer. So we can use this key, the up arrow or caret key, anytime we have an exponent that isn't 2. If we want to do a negative exponent, let's say 5 to the power of negative 2, we would enter the 5, the up arrow or caret, the negative, and the 2, and then press equals, and we get 0.04, which is correct. If we wanted to do an exponent that is a fraction, we can also do this by entering, say, if we wanted 4 to the power of 1/2, start with 4, up arrow, bracket 1 divided by 2, bracket, there's our half, equals, which gives us 2, which is correct because we know that an exponent of 0.5 is. Hey there, and welcome to HB Calcs. I'm Rick, and today we're going to have a look at how to do exponents on the Texas Instruments TI-30X2S calculator. To do this, we'll be using the following keys: the X squared key, located here, the up arrow key or the caret key, located here, and the negative key, located here, in case we want to do a negative exponent. All right, we'll start off with the basics. If we want to square a number, let's say 5 squared, we would enter the number, and then the X squared key. We see 5 squared on the top line there, and then hit the enter equals sign, and we get 25, which we know is the correct answer. If we want to cube a number, we need to use the up arrow or caret key. If we want 5 cubed, we would enter 5, up arrow 3 equals 125, which is the correct answer. So we can use this key, the up arrow or caret key, anytime we have an exponent that isn't 2. If we want to do a negative exponent, let's say 5 to the power of negative 2, we would enter the 5, the up arrow or caret, the negative, and the 2, and then press equals, and we get 0.04, which is correct. If we wanted to do an exponent that is a fraction, we can also do this by entering, say, if we wanted 4 to the power of 1/2, start with 4, up arrow, bracket 1 divided by 2, bracket, there's our half, equals, which gives us 2.
So now that you know, you'd put 2 caret 7, which would be 128. On our next one, our area is 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. So you could go ahead and type that in your calculator. Which would be 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5, or 2 caret 2 equals 3 times 3 caret 3. 2, equals times 5. You should get 180 square meters. Go ahead and pause the video and try these on your own.
We're going to evaluate algebraic expressions. Part A, evaluate 30 minus a to the third if a equals 2. You can also read this as 30 minus a cubed. If you ever hear the word cubed, it means a to the third. In this case, a is 2, and if we are evaluating, we're going to need to follow order of operations. Mnemonic device to help us remember what order of operations is, again, is PEMDAS. Parentheses first, exponents second, multiplication and division from left to right, third, addition and subtraction from left to right, fourth. 4 steps, 6 letters, but that's how order of operations goes. If I start off with my expression, 30 minus a, and my exponent would be to the third. In for a, I'm going to put 2. So to simplify this, recopy the 30, recopy the minus. In place of the a, put 2. If you want to put it in parentheses, that would be fine, especially if it's negative. You're going to need to do that. There is no simplification inside the parentheses needed. Move to exponents. I'm going to have to take care of this to the third power. 30 minus is going to get recopied. 2 to the third power means 2 multiplied 3 times. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8. So 2 cubed is 8. Next simplification is 30 minus 8, which is 22. That's your final solution. Part B. Evaluate -2 times the quantity x plus 2y squared if x equals -4 and y equals 3. Order of operations is mnemonic device PEMDAS, parentheses first, exponent second, multiplication and division from left to right third, addition and subtraction from left to right fourth. First, recopy your expression, -2 times the quantity x plus 2y, and that quantity is squared. In place of x, we're going to be putting -4, and in place of y, we're going to be putting 3. First step in simplification is to simply substitute your values where they belong. 2 times 3, and I'll put 3 in parentheses, close this parentheses, and squared. Now I need to simplify inside the parentheses first, and I'm going to follow order of operations within the parentheses. You can't take -4 plus 2 and get -2 and then multiply that by 3. Inside the parentheses, you have to follow order of operations also. So 2 times 3, because it's multiplication, must be done before the addition. So next step, recopy the -2 and the parentheses, leave the -4 and plus. 2 times 3 is 6, and that quantity is squared. That's your first step in simplification. Next step, I still have parentheses. I can still simplify inside. So I'm going to take -4 plus 6 and get +2, and that will be squared, and the -2 times that is still going to be recopied. The next part, I can't simplify in the parentheses. I'm moving to the next step, which is exponents. That means I'm going to take this 2 squared. 2 squared means take 2 and multiply it twice, so you get 4. This -2 stays, 2 squared is 4, and those are being multiplied. -2 times 4 is -8, so your final solution is -8.
Evaluate x squared plus y third if x is 6 and y equals -2. Go ahead and plug your answers in. 6 for the x, -2 for the third, the y. You get 36 minus 8. which would be 28. Try your next one. X squared minus y to the third. Plug your -5 for the x, minus your 2 for the y. -5 times -5 would be positive 25. Minus 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, so 25 minus 8, you get 17.